Hi, Renew Christian Yoga friends. This is Kendra, and I had some requests to try to do some online videos for everyone while we're at home. So this is my attempt today. Yoga is amazing because we can take it anywhere and it's portable, and we've talked about that so many times. So here we go. That's our opportunity in this situation that we're in. Also, create space in your home that is just your practice space. We've talked about that too, that sacred space can be created at home when you're traveling. And so this is an opportunity too for us just to explore that and create our own practices while we are in this waiting period. So I'm going to start some music in a minute and give you an opportunity to get yourself settled, and then we'll attempt to do this class together. So my practice honors you, and thank you for being with me here today. So when you are ready, just begin to roll yourself down to your mats, onto your backs. Allow your mat to start to support you. And just notice what you're bringing into this practice today with you. Start to notice your breath. Start to take it in through the nose, maybe to the count of 2 or 3. And then exhale out just as long through the nose or mouth. You can even sigh it out if that feels good to you today. And maybe this is an opportunity just to move hips and hands and feet a little bit as you settle into your mat and allow it to become your foundation. Just sink down a little bit deeper and soften. And if there is anything that you have brought into this practice today that maybe you're having difficulty shutting it down, just in your mind's eye, take it into your hands, set it off to the side of your mat. It will be there when you're done. And maybe it will look different at the end of your practice than it did at the start as we gain perspective. And just allow your breath to find its normal cadence. The reading that I have for you today is based on Matthew 6:34, and it is from Jesus Calling. And when I read it yesterday, I thought how applicable to these days that we are living in. What an amazing reminder that this is. And I hope that you find value in it as well. The reading leads in saying, "Trust me one day at a time. This keeps you close to me, responsive to my will. Trust is not a natural response, especially for those who have been deeply wounded. My spirit within you is your resident tutor." I love that. God is our teacher. Yield to his gentle touch. Be sensitive to his prompting. Trust me in all circumstances. Don't let your need to understand distract you from my presence. I will equip you to get through this day victoriously. Not looking toward tomorrow, but this day. Let's stay focused in the present where we are today. And Matthew 6:34 reminds us, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Yes, we know that. And there's such peace in that we can't control what is beyond where we are today. So today, as you practice, just let that be your focus and your intention, to stay present in this moment and trust. Begin to take some deep breaths in. Just begin to settle in again. Taking that big inhale, reaching toward the back of the room. Spreading fingers. Maybe you're at a wide cross if that feels better for your shoulders. Maybe you point the toes, lengthen the legs, and begin to stretch out, creating space in the spine. Finding your breath, softening the shoulders and the face. And then interlacing the fingers, let's press the palms toward the back of the room. Maybe draw the toes up, flex the feet, spread the toes, maybe move the feet. Take that deep breath in. Exhale, let the hands come down to the hips, let the legs go, walk the feet up, draw the knees in toward the chest, loose hold. Just take the knees side to side, maybe in a circle. And then finding happy baby, reaching for the outside edges of the feet, drawing the tops of the thighs down toward the mat. This is too far of a reach for you. Just take the hands behind the knees. Shoulders and head are down on the mat. Low back is reaching and lengthening. Find your breath in the movement. And releasing the right foot down to the mat. Right hand goes to the right hip. Maybe you lengthen that leg out long. Half happy baby. And then work yourself back up into that full happy baby. Exhaling as you soften. And releasing the opposite foot. Bring it down to the mat first. Maybe it goes long, maybe it stays bent and planted on the mat. Work your way right back up into that full position. Soften the shoulders and the face one more time. And release the feet. Draw the knees back in for that loose hold again. Take the hands behind the knees. Find your rock and roll to seated position, 3 or 4 rocks. Or maybe you just roll to your side and sit up. Meet me in seated position, right foot in front, finding the sit bones. Long spine, soft shoulders, soft face, crown of the head reaching. And keeping the sit bones anchored to your mat, find your wide cross, fingers spread. Right hand reaches down, maybe the forearm can even begin to reach. Left hand reaches over, opening the side body. Sit bones are anchored in the mat. Bring it back up to center, other side. Inhaling it up. Exhaling it over and holding this time. Armpits opening. Maybe your gaze is up like mine. Maybe your head is more comfortable looking forward or down. And find your cat back here as your left hand reaches toward the front corner of your mat. Drop the forehead toward the knee. Reach the elbow up. Open the chest. One more time, reaching forward, cat back. Elbow reaches. Beautiful, let's find that wide cross again. Left elbow goes under right. Bear hug to the hands to the shoulder, or eagle arms where the palms wrap and come together. Take that breath right into the upper back. Release the hands. Take the hands up, soften the shoulders and the face, and gently take the gaze over the left shoulder. Right hand's reaching for the left knee. No forcing, just turning. And walk it back to center. Switching legs, left leg in front. Find the sit bones. Grow it up tall. Soften the shoulders. Hands go out in that wide cross. Fingers are spread. Left hand reaches over. Right hand reaches over and up. Good. Let's go the other side. Inhaling up. Last time, holding. Finding your cat back, reaching that hand forward, forehead comes down. Elbow reaches up, chest opens. Let's reach it out again. One more time, elbow reaching. And reach it out. And bring it up to your wide cross. Nice. And then right elbow under left, bear hug, eagle arms. You're here, beautiful. Find the breath wherever you're at. And then release it. Hands come up, soft shoulders. Looking over the right shoulder, left hand reaches for the right knee. And walk it back to the front. Work yourself into child's pose, knees together or knees apart. Hands can be reaching out in front. If you need a block for the forehead, to keep that consistent and in line with the spine, beautiful. Maybe the hands reach back for the hips or the heels. Just let the belly go. Take some breaths here. Try to soften, let the belly go. This is where you come anytime you need a break during the practice. Maybe there's a lot going on for you right now, and this practice might bring some emotion forward. Just come to child's pose. Take a break. Give yourself permission for that. Begin to walk the hands up toward the knees. Come onto the knees and shins. Roll all the way up. Take an inhale with the hands going up. Interlace the fingers, press the palms up, soften the shoulders down. Good. So we're getting length on the left side. We're looking to the left as we head to the right. Maybe you can begin to take the bend out of the elbows. And let's bring it back up to center. Get the length. Looking, opening the side body, heading to the left. Keep the breath there. Inhale it up. Hands open wide, palms are open, fingers are spread. Maybe we can begin to roll the shoulder blades back toward the spine, opening the chest. Maybe the head can go back just a little bit. Keep the breath in this backward position. Good. Bring it back to neutral spine, back to center. We're going to sit down in hero's pose, so you might want a block or two, being careful of the knees. Sitting back onto the heels. So decide how far you can go with that today, how warmed up you are. Roll the shoulders back, find your long spine. And then taking the head to the right. Just carefully roll the head onto the front body, over to the left. And then take it again back over to the right, just noticing the difference on the sides. Good, let's bring it back to center, shoulders toward the ears, and then drop back down again into that neutral position. Take the head to the right. Reach the left hand out, spread the fingers, exhale your hand down so you really feel that nice stretch. And then take an inhale, exhale, hand to the low back, exhale, soften a little more. And bring it back to your center, nice. Release the shoulders again, and then find the head going to the left. Take the hand out, reach it, spread the fingers, exhale it down, find the stretch. You want to be on your edge, but not so far that it's uncomfortable. Take an inhale, exhale, soften a little more, let the head maybe go just a touch further if that's available. And bring it back to center, good. Let's walk the shoulders out for a moment. Take your block out if you had that. We're moving into our first downward facing dog for tonight. So taking the hips back, I'm actually gonna go from this position. We're gonna walk this out, so drop the right heel down, bend the left knee, open up the hamstring on the right side. And then switching sides, opposite heel goes down, opposite knee bends, hips are reaching up, and we're pressing out through the shoulders, and then begin to pedal it out a little bit. And when you're ready, up on both toes, and then heels reaching. We're reaching for the mat with the heels, but we may not get there. It's okay, that's just the direction we're going. Hips are reaching up and back toward the back of the room. Head is just hanging. We're not holding the head. Take a couple breaths here as we settle into our first downward facing dog. Right foot plants. Let's take the left foot up and over, crossing the feet, almost crossing at the knees for a cross-legged downward facing dog. So just notice what that does to that position for you, how it changes it. Maybe you want a little bend in the knees. And then carefully releasing the right knee down to the mat and left knee will follow. Let's find a cross-legged table. So if your hips are tight, your feet might be closer together. Otherwise, we begin to walk them out and spread them apart. Beautiful. Begin to sit it back. So find where you feel a nice stretch and just hold and breathe. Bring it back to your neutral spine. Finding a little bit of a cow here, opening the chest, inhaling, face up. And one more time, let's reach it back. Bring it back to neutral position. Find your cow. Beautiful. Bring it back to neutral. Take that left leg, stretch it back. Right foot reaches for the edge of your mat. Right arm is planted, shoulders over the wrist. Reach the left hand up. And then reach it toward the front of the room. You can stay here, or you can bend that extended leg, find a little bit of a cat back, and draw your hand down toward the edge of your mat. Beautiful. Let's bring it back to the full position. Beautiful. One more time. Let's reach the hand, find the cat back. Good. Let's reach it up. And bring it back to your neutral table. So nice. So maybe you need to release the back a little bit here. You can take the hips in a small circle. And when you're ready, meet me in downward facing dog on the other side. So walk it out again if you need to, and then settle in. Left foot plants, right leg crosses over behind the left. Cross-legged downward facing dog. Keep the breath strong and steady. Left knee, take it down to the mat. Right knee is going to follow. Keep that cross-legged position in table. Shoulders are over the wrists, fingers are spread, and let's take it back. Sit it back, find your stretch. Bring it back to neutral table. Find your cow, chest opens, inhale, soften the face. Back to center, sit it back. Ride it back up to center. Good. Find your cow. And bring it back to center. Find that modified side angle. So right leg reaches back, left foot comes to the edge of the mat. You pivot it around. Right arm is reaching up, left hand is planted. Take that hand, reach it toward the front of the room. Take a couple breaths here. You can stay here. It's a beautiful stretch, or find that cat back, reaching, bending the extended leg, bringing it back to that side angle. And one more time, finding that little reach, inhaling it back. Beautiful. Let's take it back to our table. Release your hips if you want that. And now we're moving into our first downward facing dog series. So let's press it back, walk it out, and then settle in. Find your position, take a breath, check your principles. Are you holding your head? Is there anything that's tensing for you? Let your right leg plant. And left leg goes up. Three-legged dog. Doesn't matter how high that leg goes. It can be just right off the mat. Keep the weight evenly in the shoulders. Take the knee toward the chest. Hover for a moment. Take a breath there. And then step that foot through to the hands. Drop the back knee down. Low lunge. Hands come up. Knee is over the ankle. Nice, beautiful. And then take the hips back a little bit as we go into prayer hands. Right elbow goes to the outside of the left knee. Lift the side body up. So your gaze might stay down, it might go to the wall, or it might go all the way to the ceiling. Catch your breath here. Beautiful, bring it back to center. Find your low lunge. Exhale, the hands come down to the mat, half split. Sit the hips back, toes come toward the head. Keep a little bend in the knee. Forehead comes down toward the shin. So bring it back to our low lunge. Hands rise up. Prayer hands, hips come back a little bit. Take that twist, lifting the side body. Beautiful, bring it back to center, low lunge. Exhale, hands come down, half split. And then release that, bend the front knee, take the left hand inside the left foot and walk the left foot out toward the edge of your mat. Finding lizard position here. So you can use a block. If that's more comfortable, you can use 2 blocks. So you have some options here. You can stay in this stretch, that's a big stretch. You can hinge at the hip, drop the forearms down. Or you can bring that back knee off the mat. Maybe you want to roll the foot out to the side, opening the knee a little bit more. So wherever you decide to be, settle in, try to soften and stay steady with the breath. Sometimes it's uncomfortable in these positions and we wonder if we can stay the course. But it's very empowering to know that we can hold on our edge and follow through. Begin to take that apart. Drop the knee down if you brought it up. Take your block out. Step your foot back, finding plank or low plank, modified plank. And walk the feet back in. Find your downward facing dog again. Walking it out or moving the hips if you want that. Left foot plants, right leg goes up. And then bring that knee toward the chest, hovering for a moment. And then stepping that foot to the hand, dropping the back knee down, low lunge. So checking that this knee is over the ankle, it's not ahead of it. Beautiful. Prayer hands, bring the hips back a little bit. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Bringing it back to center, low lunge. Exhaling the hands down, find your half split, toes reach for the head. Low lunge, hands rise up. Find your prayer hands, take the twist again. Beautiful, let's bring it back to center. Exhale, that hands come inside the foot, walk the foot out to the edge, find your lizard, whatever position that you're wanting for today. And then settle in and take some breaths. Don't be afraid to move and adjust if you need that. Begin to take that apart, remove your block, step your foot back, Find your plank. So keeping the hips in line with the spine, the head, the shoulders. If your hips are going up in your plank, drop your knees down to keep everything aligned. Take a couple breaths here. And then leaning forward, find the bottom of your push-up. Upward facing dog. Maybe you take the variation of just cobra. Maybe you take forearms. Beautiful. Tuck the toes, find your downward facing dog. Push up or no push up. Catch your breath. Beautiful. Drop yourself to table, hands and knees. Find your position here. Left hand plants, right hand goes up. And then scoop that right hand through, thread the needle through, weight is on the right shoulder. Left hand can stay planted. Maybe left hand reaches up or to the right hip. Begin to unwind that, bring it back to your table. Right foot lengthens back, finding spinal balance here. So maybe just the foot lifts off the mat. Maybe left hand reaches out in front. If you want to take that a little farther, you can bend the right knee, reach for the foot with the left hand, pressing the foot into the hand, opening the chest. Wherever you land, just be steady and constant with the breath. No holding. And then extend it long. Bring it back to your table. Maybe hips left and right. Releasing the low back as we come back into position for the other side. Beautiful. Right hand plants, left hand goes up. Thread it through. Right hand might reach. Maybe it stays rooted to the mat. Begin to unwind that. Stepping back with the left leg, finding balance first. Maybe right arm reaching out. Maybe finding the foot. Nice. Let's exhale, reaching long, bringing it down. Take those hips side to side. And find your downward facing dog again. Let's press it through. Settle in. We're going to move into a flow now. If you need to come out at any time, you always have that option. Right foot plants, left leg goes up, three-legged dog. Let's open the bellies to the wall. Bend the top leg. Look under the right armpit. See if we see the heel. And extend it long again. Knee comes toward the chest. Step it through. Find your runner's lunge. Rotate the back foot to flat position. Warrior two. So windmill the hands up. Adjust yourself as you need to. Chest is toward the wall. Gaze is over the front hand. Good. Let's reverse our warrior. Back hand slides down the leg. Left hand is up and over. Ribs opening. Let's bring it back to warrior two. Elbow to the front knee. Right arm reaching over. run through that again. Warrior two, find your position. If you lost your front knee, reverse it. Warrior two, elbow to the knee, reaching. And bringing it back up. Beautiful. Let's take the hands forward, hop the back foot up a little bit, finding triangle. Maybe move your block in a little bit closer as we revolve this position. So finding that triangle, chest is open to the wall again, sit back into the back hip, and then reach the hand forward. Keep the chest open as you hinge it down and the hand reaches for the shin, the foot, or maybe the floor, maybe your block. Take some breaths here. We're starting to create some heat. Exhale, right hand comes down, maybe to your block, maybe to your shin or ankle, revolving. Opposite hand goes up. Beautiful. Let's release that hand down. Take your blocks, set them to the side of your mat. Hop your back foot up, find forward fold. Feet are shoulder width apart. Hands go to the elbows, knees are bent. So we're laying the chest onto the thighs. Just take the hips side to side. And then finding center once you are ready and you feel like things are opening up. Release the hands to the mat, walk them up to the shins or maybe to the thighs, half lift. And exhale, fold back down. Beautiful. Take your hands to your blocks. Right foot plants. Left leg goes up, standing split. Again, it doesn't matter how high the leg goes. We're laying that chest, moving it toward the thigh. And let's take the knee to the nose. Find your cat back here, draw it in. Press it back up. Let's do 2 more of those, drawing it in. Exhaling. Last time. Beautiful. Let's press it up. Step that lifted foot back. Take your blocks away. Find your plank. Knees up or down. Shoulders over the wrists. And find your chaturanga. So leaning forward, bottom of your push-up. Upward facing. Or your variation. Maybe you just go to child's. Downward facing dog. And take a breath here. If you need to take a break, take one. Otherwise, left foot plants, right leg goes up. Open the belly, bend the top leg, look for the heel. Extend it long. Knee comes in toward the chest, hovering for a moment. Step it through. Rotate the back foot, flat position. Warrior two, windmill it up. Lean it forward. Reverse your warrior. Bring it back to center. Elbow to the knee, reach it up and over. Warrior two, reverse it. Find warrior two, elbow to the knee. Beautiful, let's bring it back up. Hands reach forward, hop that back foot up, find your triangle. So open it up, sit back into that back hip, reach the right hand out, and hinge. Hands reaching for your block or the floor. Exhale, left hand comes down to your block or the floor. Right hand goes up. So nice. Let's exhale that hand down. Take your blocks to the outside edge of your mat. Step your foot forward. Find forward fold. Maybe it's beginning to open up a little bit more now. Release the hands, halfway lift. Hands on the thighs, the shins maybe reaching out. Exhale, fold it back down. Weight goes into the left foot. Hands on the block, standing split. Knee to nose, cat back, draw it in. Exhale it long. One more time, bringing it in. Pressing it up. Last time, in, knee to nose, pressing it up. Step that foot back, take your blocks away, find your plank, your variation, child's pose, vinyasa. Wherever you end up, meet me in child's pose. Take a little break for a moment. Walk the hands to the right, just take the hips to the left. And then walk the hands to the other side, take the hips the other direction. And bringing it back to center. When you're ready, work yourself back into downward facing dog. And looking to the hands, walk or jump the feet to the hands. Find your forward fold. Maybe the arms can wrap around the back of the knees this time. Maybe they're just on the mat. Find that half lift again. Take a breath. Fold it back down. Bending the knees, let the palms be forward. Begin to roll up to standing. Take an inhale. Good. Let's sit right into our chair. So feet are hip width apart. Make sure you can see your toes, that your knees aren't too far forward. Sitting back into the heels. Let's bend the elbows, forearms reaching for one another. Take a breath here. And stepping out to the left, opening wide, cactus arms. Bring it back to your chair, forearms reaching. Opposite side, opening. Bringing it back. One more on each side. Beautiful. Good. Last time, opening. Bringing it forward. Let's press it up to standing. Little back bend. Good. Let's swan dive down. Long spine. Find your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Good. Bring it back to fold. Bend the knees. Palms are forward. Roll it up to standing. Good. Prayer hands. Take those feet out, shoulder width apart. Rise up again and sit back into your chair. Prayer hands, pressing them in, softening the face and the shoulders. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee, lifting the side body up. That left knee might have gone forward a little bit. Draw the left hip back. Let's bring it back to center. Rise all the way up. Bring it up to neutral spine. Sit it back down, chair. Prayer hands. Almost there. Right elbow to the outside of the left, lifting the side body off of the thigh. Bring it back to center. Good. Let's rise all the way up. Little back bend. Find neutral spine, swan dive down, long crown of the head reaching. Step back, bring yourself all the way to your belly, all the way down. Hands alongside the hips, head turned right. Let the shoulders just kind of cave in a little bit. Take a moment just to soften, take a breath, bringing you back to your intention for today of trusting, staying in this moment, in this day, not worrying about tomorrow, and planting that in your heart. Focus on God and His presence walking with you. Bring yourself up to your table position. We're moving into dolphin. So dolphin is downward facing dog on the forearms. So we're lifting the knees off the mat, walking the feet in, long spine, hips are lifting, and then drawing the heels down, lifting the hips up so we're not just dumping into the shoulders. Take some breaths here. If this is too much for you, you can drop to the knees. Let's inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, heels come down. One more time, inhaling up. Exhaling down. Beautiful. Let's walk the feet out. Position the shoulders over the elbows. Find your forearm plank. So keep the hips in line with the spine, the head. Keep it all in one line. Drop the knees if you need that to maintain that safe position. Beautiful. Drop the knees down. Come all the way down to the belly. Hands to the hips. Again, let the shoulders just cave in toward the mat and soften. We're going to be moving into locust. So once you feel ready to move into your position again, bring the head center. Hands are alongside the hips, fingers are spread, palms are facing each other. And as we grow up the chest here, we're inhaling and we're breathing as we're holding. Maybe the feet come off, maybe they don't today. But maybe we can press those palms toward one another. Maybe you want to interlace them behind you. And then exhale, release it, turn the head the opposite direction. Bringing it back to center, finding your arm variation, locust, grow it up. No holding of the breath. Exhale, bring it back down. Find your cactus arms, elbows no higher than your shoulder. Taking the head to the right, turning the head, planting the right hand. Take the right leg, begin to step it behind the left. So if this is uncomfortable for your shoulder, drop the elbow down or come out of this form. But we're opening the left shoulder here. Take some breaths into any tightness, but there should be no pain in this, so come out if it's uncomfortable in that way. Let's bring it back to center, back to your belly. Cactus arms, turn the head to the left, planting the left hand, beginning to roll to the right. Left leg steps behind the right. And your leg might be up higher than mine. You might not even be close to the mat. Pay attention to the right shoulder and how that's feeling. And breathe. So nice. Let's bring it back to our bellies. Take just a moment. Moving yourself into puppy. So just like child's, only the hips are up, arms are reaching out in front. Walk the hands to the right. And then take them over to the left. And back to your center. And let's bring it back. Let's just take the knees in. Let's find a little child's here just for a moment. Catch your breath, slow the heart down. And when you're ready, roll yourself up to the shins and knees. We're going to work on locust with the block between the thighs. So find a position. If you don't have a block, that's absolutely okay too. But position your block where you feel comfortable holding it. Squeezing it in. Beginning to roll the shoulders onto the back body, drawing the shoulder blades toward each other. Hips are over the knees. Hands go into your back pocket. Fingers are pointed down and elbows are reaching toward each other. So this is our basic heart opening position. And then as we begin to open the chest, we take that little back bending position. We tend to hold our breath as we go backwards. So keep the breath where you can still access it. If you are going too deep and holding, back off a little bit. Beautiful. Let's inhale and come back up, drawing the navel toward the spine, protecting the core. Good. Let's go for that one more time. Rolling the shoulders, hands into the back pockets, elbows reaching, chest opening. Just playing with how far we want to go in this. Keeping the breath. Staying calm. And let's draw it back up. Beautiful. Let's move right into hero's pose. We did this earlier with a block or without, sitting back onto the heels. So maybe finding a little cat back there if your low back felt that back bend. And then finding your long spine, hands open, receiving. Maybe just focusing for a moment on what a relief it is to just trust and focus on today. And when you're ready, let's bring that back up. Move back into locust. And you can keep that same position that we were just working on, but if you want a little bit more, you can tuck the toes under. Hands go into the back pocket, open the chest. So here's our back bend, but maybe the right hand can reach down for the ankle or the heel. The left hand can go up. And let's bring it back up. And one more time, finding your variation. Noticing your breath. And bringing it up. So good. That's a hard position of trust that you actually can move through that. Let's bring it back down into here one more time. Maybe a little cat back, side to side, or low back movement. And when you're ready, let's move into seated position, legs out in front. So we're gonna move into tree from seated position. So right leg is extended, left leg comes in. So my foot is in toward my groin, but that might not be comfortable for you. You might need a block under the knee, or maybe you walk the foot out a little further where it feels enough for you today. So find the sit bones again, really anchor into the mat. Grow the spine up, crown of the head reaching. Let's take the arms up and hinging at the hips. Keep the spine long for as long as you can. And once you know that you can't go any further, soften, drop the hands to the mat, drop the chin in, and just start to breathe and take that stretch where it's at today. Begin to walk the hands up. Take the left hand behind you. Right hand goes up, hips go up for stargazer. So reaching, left shoulder is over the left wrist. Let's exhale that down. Good. Bringing that knee back into center, hug it in for a moment. Step it over to the outside of the right leg. You have a couple options here. You can take the right arm and just wrap it around the left knee, or you can take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee and take that gentle turn again. And bring it back to your center. Nice. Let's just release that down. Let's go for the other side. Good. Find your position first. It's going to be different on each side. Inhale the hands up. And then hinging, keeping long length in the spine for as long as you can. And then dropping into your fold. Take breaths into any tightness that you feel. Just direct it there. Let's walk the hands back. Right hand reaches back, left hand goes up, hips rise, stargazer. And bring it back down. Take that right knee, bring it back to center. Step it over the left. Left arm wraps or elbow to the outside of the knee. And bring it back. Nice. Let's just release that. Walk the legs out a little bit. And let's begin to roll down to our mats. So finding our core here, heels are balanced, hands are reaching out one vertebra at a time. Just begin to roll it down. Beautiful. Walk the feet in, bend the knees. Take the feet to the edges of your mat and just windshield wiper side to side. Beautiful. Let's bring that back to center. Walk the feet in, preparing for your bridge pose here. Hands are alongside the hips, maybe walking the hands toward the feet or the heels, walking the shoulders in toward the spine, opening the heart just for a moment. And when you're ready, hips come up, bridge pose. Draw the thighs together just a little bit. Chin is out of the chest. Maybe you interlace the hands underneath. Maybe you just keep them right where they're at. Beautiful. But begin to release that. Walk the shoulders out. Roll the spine down. We're going to do that one more time. If you want to take a full bridge or back bend, you have that option to do that. I'm going to stay right with this bridge position. So one more time. Hands reaching for the heels. Walking the shoulders in, opening the heart, chin out of the chest, hips begin to come up. And begin to release that again. Just walk the shoulders out, roll it down. Take that right knee into the chest, lengthen the left leg out. And take that leg over to the left, right arm reaches. Maybe you keep the gaze to the ceiling, maybe you can look to the extended hand. Take the breath right into the low back or anywhere, anything that you want to release at this point in your practice, just sigh it out. Bring it back to center. Hug it in for the last time. And then taking the left knee in, extend the right leg long. And take that left knee across to the right. Left arm reaching. And draw the knee back into center. And find your final resting position for today. So if you need to grab a jacket or a drink before you settle in, I encourage you to do that. Your resting position really is the most important position of your practice. It's where you take in everything that you just created for your body and you take time to honor that and acknowledge that. So take 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you can, just to stay in resting, to allow that that stillness so that you can hear that voice. And all of the chaos that we have in our lives, creating stillness is probably one of the biggest disciplines that we have. So I just thank you for being here today. My practice always honors yours, always, that you show up and you come and you take risk. So I want to just take us back to where we started today, to trusting, to Jesus calling. Trust me one day at a time, just one. This keeps you close to me. It keeps you responsive to my will for your life. Trust is not our natural response, especially for those of us who have been deeply wounded or have brokenness, and we all have brokenness in this world. My spirit within you is your resident tutor. This is our opportunity to take time and listen for God. Yield to my gentle touch. Be sensitive to my prompting. Trust me in all your circumstances. Don't let your need to understand distract you from my presence. I will equip you to get through this day victoriously. So tonight and today, as you rest in God's presence, maybe take that in, that this is a victorious day, that there is always something to find thankfulness in, and there is peace in the trusting. Matthew 6:34, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. May you be blessed during these days.
teach me